Hi boys and girls, in this video I will be doing today's math lesson with you. Now as you know, the past week or so we have been learning about telling time. Last week we talked about telling time to the hour where we say o'clock, such as 4 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 12 o'clock. We talked about telling time to the half hour where we can say half past, 30 minutes after, or we can say 30, so 5:30, 7:30, 9:30, or 30 minutes after 7. Then we talked about time patterns where we could say if 1 o'clock there's a dance class and 2 o'clock there's a dance class and 3 o'clock there's a dance class, we know that those classes are every hour or they're last for an hour. Or if we say from 4 to 4:30, then from 4:30 to 5, those are half an hour. So we talked about time patterns. The next thing we talked about was how we have 24 hours in a day, but only 12 hours on our clock. And so we actually have 2 1 o'clocks, 2 o'clocks, 3 o'clocks, 4 o'clocks, and so on. But we have morning and evening, or daytime and nighttime. So there's 4 o'clock in the morning where it's the middle of the night, and then 4 o'clock in the afternoon where it's the middle of the day. So now we're going to be taking all that stuff that we learned last week and we're going to be applying it in our problem solving pages. So if you want to get your books ready, open up your book to this first page, lesson 15.5. It is on page 581. And I will read over this first, part here with you. It says Nolan has a skating lesson at 11 o'clock. Okay, so let's make our big clock here say 11 o'clock so that we know Nolan, of course, my clock just disappeared. Give me a minute, I'll get it back. Okay, we're back. I don't know what was happening there, technical difficulties. All right, so it says Nolan has a skating lesson at 11, and here it says 11 o'clock. Micah has a lesson a half hour before Nolan. Okay, so a half an hour before would be 30 minutes before, or halfway around our clock, which would be 10:30. All right, and then it says Eli has a lesson a half hour after Nolan. So we know when Nolan was at 11 o'clock, a half an hour after would be halfway around our clock this way, which would be 11:30. Okay. So who has a skating lesson at 11:30? Well, we just answered that when we moved the clock a half an hour after Nolan, which was Eli. So Eli has class at 11:30 because 30 minutes after would be 11:30. Okay? So let's go on now to the next page. Go ahead and you can turn your page. Now go to my next page. And we'll look here at the top, the first practice question. It says, solve. Use logical reasoning. Put the name of each person next to their time on the table. Okay? So Kelsey finishes her chores at 4:30. So I'll make the clock say 4:30. All right, that's when Kelsey finishes her chores. And so at 4:30, they wrote Kelsey. So you can trace that. It says Kate finishes her chores at 5 o'clock. So 5 o'clock would be here. And that would be Kate. So at 5 o'clock, we can write Kate, K-A-T-E. Jasmine finishes her chores at 4 o'clock. My squeaky clock. Okay, so at 4 o'clock, that is when Jasmine finishes hers. So who finishes their chores last? Well, if we have Jasmine, Kelsey, Kate, we know that Kate finishes hers last because 5 o'clock comes last. So on the line, you can put Kate. Again, remember, this is a video, so if I'm moving quickly and you're taking time to write their names still, just pause it while you write their names and then unpause. Number 2 says Emma goes to the playground at 2 o'clock. So let's make our clock say 2 o'clock. Oops. 2 o'clock. All right, Emma's going to the playground. That sounds fun. We haven't been to our playground in 2 months. Okay. Sandra goes to the playground 1 hour after Emma. Okay, so you can write Emma next to 2 o'clock. So here's 2 o'clock. Put Emma. Hey, Emma. And then Sandra goes 1 hour after. So after would be fold 3 o'clock. So we'll put Sandra here at 3 o'clock. Sandra. Brooke goes to the playground 1 hour before. So 1 hour before 2 o'clock would be 1 o'clock. So Brooke goes here where it says 1 o'clock. So who goes to the playground at 1 o'clock? Brooke goes to the playground at 1 o'clock. Okay? Number 3 says, how does reasoning help you solve a problem about time? Well, reasoning means we use what we already know about time. We know what the words before and after mean, so that helps us figure out who does these tasks before, after. Okay? Go ahead and turn now to the next page. They're just reminding you here how to solve with logical reasoning, and now we'll go down to number 1. It says Caleb makes a craft at 6:30. So they put Caleb next to 6:30. It says Ashton makes his craft a half hour before. So when does Ashton make his craft? Okay, so if it's 6:30, that would be right here. And that is when Caleb makes his craft. But Ashton is a half an hour before. So if we go back a half an hour, then Ashton makes his at 6 o'clock. So on the line here, put 6:00, and then you can write Ashton on the line. And then we'll go on to the next page, okay? Number 2 here says, Debbie goes to bed at 9. Ashley, hey, that's my name. Ashley goes to bed an hour later. So Danielle goes to bed an hour earlier. So our times, we got 9 o'clock is Debbie, so we'll put 9 o'clock here and put 9 o'clock and put Debbie on the line. So 9 o'clock and Debbie. Ashley goes to bed an hour later, so that would be 10 o'clock. Put 10 o'clock here and put Ashley. And then Danielle goes to bed an hour earlier, so you can put an hour before 9 would be 8. So put 8 o'clock here, and you could just put a D for Danielle if you want. So who goes to bed at 10? Well, we've got 8, 9, 10. Me, Ashley, goes to bed at 10. That's not really true, though. I'm usually in bed by like 7:30. Anyway, moving on to number 3. Alan eats lunch at 12 o'clock. So we'll put right here in the middle one, 12 o'clock, and then A for Alan. Diego eats lunch an hour after. So an hour after 12 would be 1 o'clock, right? Yeah. Jason eats lunch a half hour. Don't get confused there. A half hour before. Well, what's a half hour before 12? 11:30. So here put 11:30 and then put Alan. And then it says, who eats lunch at 11:30? I'm sorry, Jason. So Jason eats lunch at 11:30, which is a half an hour before Alan because Alan eats at 12. Okay, I want you to go on now. I'm fairly confident that you'll be able to do the rest of these. Remember, the first name they give you goes in the middle. So this one is Faith. You'll put the F here with 2:30. Ellie has recess at 2. So you'll put 2 in Ellie. And then Karen, 3. And then who has recess for first? Ellie. Okay, so go ahead and read through the next one. And then you can go on if you'd like and do the homework page. Read the questions, fill in your answers, and I have a feeling that you're going to do just fine on this, okay? If you do have any questions, you can reach out and ask me, but I think that by now you guys have got this down pretty well, okay? Good luck, boys and girls. Bye!